Hello everybody, Pajisha here, and welcome back to Kingdom Hearts 3. Now this is just like a little extra episode for you guys. I did a poll up on YouTube here, and I asked if you guys want to see the secret reports that are in the game. And, you guys said, yeah, sure, well, let's talk about them. I'm recording this I believe it should be about 2 weeks after I beat the game. And okay.
Let's go check out the town.
Yes, I do have the ultimate weapon. Yes, I have. If I do this and go to my trophies, I have 100% the game in terms of trophies. So, we shall talk about the secret reports. So, basically, how do you get the secret reports? If we go, well, let's go here for example. We got these battle gates, and battle gates are essentially trials. And well, to this game's difficulty, it's not that hard.
Sure
So-
are a lot of walls.
I'm sure the doors are gone.
Yep. So right here, for example, we got a battle gate. There are 14 in total, starting with 0, and each one of them gives you a secret report from 1 to 13, I believe. And well, starts from 0, goes all the way up to 13. So there's 14 battle gates in total, and the 13th one is a secret boss. And I'm not gonna say it's hard,
Let's go.
but it is kind of tricky. So like right here, oh, battle gate 14. So there are 15 in total. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way up to 14. And there's a single battle, so and this boss is that doesn't lead to anything that evolves into the future of Kingdom Hearts. It's kind of like an invisible. It's like a different version of that. But anyways, let us get to the secret reports. So after you beat all those battle gates, go to your gun phone, and secret reports are right here. This was where those 3 question marks were, all throughout the entire game. Once you get secret reports, it's right there. So we got secret reports 1 to 13. Let's start from the top. Recollections. Am I alive? I awoke in a cell alone until the researchers came with a test, and they're prodding to uncover my identity. I had no answer to offer them. 4 friends and a key. That is the sum total of my memory. I could not even recall my name. I was simply called X there. My only solace was the time I spent talking with the 2 boys who visit from time to time. One day, a man came to take me from the prison. I could not see him from the darkness, save that he wore an eye patch. Even now, years on, I feel no closer to understanding who or what I am. May my heart be my guiding key. Unknown. Now, there are some theories people have about who this mystery person is. People think that it is the star, from the final world, and they might think that those 2 are, the same person, and it's either Ava, Skuld, or Strelitzia. One of those 3. My take on it, I think it might be Ava. Because, because based from the the epilogue, she wasn't there. And, people say, well, Lushu or Zigbar might have recognized her. But do we actually know if the foretellers know each other underneath the mask? Because we have not seen them at all without them. So it could be that, it might be Ava without her mask, without her, usual getup. Or then again, it could be Skuld, because we have no idea what happens after, Union Cross is still going on. There's still updates being put up. We have no idea. I kind of doubt it's Strelitzia because she ultimately died. So I'm more going for Ava for this. So let's go to secret report number 2. The Market Mastery Journal. Some days have passed since I set off on my journey to prepare for the Market Mastery examination. Erica's asked for leave to undertake the same pilgrimage. But apparently I am to be the first to tour the worlds written of in the old fairy tales. Until a few short years ago, I known only my world, a speck of land surrounded by sea. But how I dreamed of, yearned for the world beyond, and granted guidance from the future. I left that nest behind. As I treaded the path to my master's side, I came in contact with darkness in many forms. I knew, even then, as by instinct, terrifying as its power was, it could be harnessed, mastered. Erica's is a blue blood, descended from the very first masters in the age of fairy tales. But I did not come this far to indulge in adulation. I will be his peer, his equal, and to do that, I must learn to wield the power born from both darkness and light in proper balance. Xehanort. Now, with this, people speculate that Ericus is a descendant of Brain, or Blaine, whichever, because they have similar hairstyles, similar colors, I guess. I have not checked, by the time of this recording, I have not checked the recent Japanese update of the game, so that might have cleared some stuff up about that, but I think that is what's happening. So, secret report number 3. Experiments of the Heart. Notes on Subject X, Excerpt 1. Subject was found in the central square shortly after dawn. Female, approximately 15 years old. After 7 days' observation, she spoke her first words, but could not provide a name. Subject exhibits signs of profound amnesia and display a concern about which world this is. Her words suggest that she departed her homeworld with others, though she cannot recall the names of her erstwhile companions. All efforts to explore these memories have met with a rejection response. After his initial experience of Onmi, Anson the Wise ceases research into the heart. His hand stayed by some fear I cannot fathom. Yet this new subject is like me, devoid of memories. She is a perfect sample upon which to continue my master's work. Well, thanks Overwatch. She too could benefit from it. By traversing the heart, we have a direct path into memory. I myself have begun to reclaim my lost past, thanks to these very experiences. Who is she? Whence has she come? These are questions no scientist could ignore, and the words she muttered, "May your heart be a guiding key." Xehanort. Yeah, so this really, like, I don't really think we have a set age of Ava, Strelitzia, and Skuld, but they all appear very young in in Union Cross. In back cover, Ava looks like she and Gula are the youngest out of everyone. Fortunately, we've never seen like a 3D version of Skuld or Strelitzia, so it's kind of hard to tell. But we can assume that they are all around the same age. I guess this is being told by Terra Nort, or Terra Xehanort, when after. So this is after he became basically apprentice to Xehanort. So like it's still in between, like basically the end of Birth by Sleep and Kingdom Hearts 1. And I believe if we also they mentioned, yeah, a prison. In Kingdom Hearts 2, we actually, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, to be more specific, we see Xemnas go down this long hallway in Hall of Bastion, and on his way to see Aqua's armor. And like in the room where that door where Aqua Armors is, there's a bunch of jail cells around it. So one of these must have been this girl's jail cell. And like we knew they were doing like experiments, but we don't know experiments on who. One of these had to have been this girl. Experiments of the Heart. Notes on Subject X, Excerpt 2. Subject's memories have not returned, and our conversations remain less than lucid. What fragments can be gleaned evoked by a bygone world? Like one out of fairy tales. As improbable as it seems, the question may not be where she has come from, but when. If she has truly crossed through time, the prospect of probing her heart is all the more compelling. My pilot studies use a handful of subjects, but none possess the fortitude to endure them. Ultimately, all suffered mental collapse. I knew it would be a heavy blow to lose a subject as unique as she. Upon discovering the tests I've been conducting, my master demanded that I cease my work immediately and destroy what research I have compiled. Worse still, he ordered the release of my remaining subjects. She is gone. Where's Subject X now? Has wise Master Ansem hidden her away? Whatever the case, I will not be deterred. I will take her place as the first subject in the grand experiment to come. Xehanort. Now with where is he? This line, my pilot studies used a handful of subjects, but none possessed the fortitude to endure them. Which means that, you know, this girl endured a lot. And I feel like, you know, with someone with like, you know, basically like the title of master or foreteller, she would be able to endure these experiences maybe, you know, because she wouldn't be chosen by the Master of Masters to be a foreteller, to be a master, you know. But then again, Skuld, we have no idea about her. She is a union leader, but not really considered. I only think she's considered a master. So I'm really thinking like the person that they're experimenting on is Ava. Where she could have gone, I have no idea. Could she be someone that we already met? Maybe. I have no idea. It could have been the same situation as Luxu, where, oh, I have this other name that I go by, but we don't actually know that, oh, this is actually Ava. You know? Because we never see her face. We have no idea what she looks like. And, you know, I really hope that, you know, in an update for Union Cross, they will do a face reveals for each of the foretellers, because they can't keep this secret for long. Or maybe they'll do it like in the next Kingdom Hearts game. Who knows? Alright. Secret report number 5. Memoirs excerpt 1. The castle was a wonderland to us children. Within its walls, Ansem the Wise conducted his research. The fruits it bore allowed everyone outside to live in peace and happiness. That alone was enough to stoke our interest, though not all of the rumors that escaped its walls were so benevolent. By night, the muffled sounds of human wails emerged. There was talk of dangerous human experimentation. Lee and I couldn't help but hatch a plot to steal inside and sate our curiosity. The two stood guard at the gates were researchers themselves, though you wouldn't think it to see them. Massive and barrel chests as they were, and slipping past that duo was only the first hurdle. It proved one not easily cleared. We were found and tossed out on our ears, time and again. On the day we secured our entry, we descended the long spiral staircase at the heart of the castle to find a dark space below it, lined with cages. There wasn't light enough to see if they were inhabited, and we were in no position to call out to any occupants within. Yet we could feel it, a definite presence. There in the black. Terror washed over us, and we immediately regretted coming. But just as we turned to flee, we heard the faintest of voices. The urge to run was nigh overpowering, but someone or something beckoned us on. There, framed by a tenuous sliver of light, we found her, Saïx. Or it could be as we don't know, when in the timeline, these were written, but I'm guessing this would have been written after the talk with Lee on the tower. So there's just we seen in Birth by Sleep Lee and Isa being kicked out of the castle. So I believe that was supposed to be, we never actually knew why they were going into the castle in Birth by Sleep, but it was for this, to basically rescue the people who were being experimented on. Memoirs Excerpt 2. It was all too dim to make out her features. We spoke to her in hushed whispers. Who was she? Why was she present here? She had no answers for us, had no memories at all. Was she an enigma? But I knew I wanted to help her. And so we continued our infiltrations. Most of them stopped short at the castle gates. When we didn't manage our way inside, we spoke with her. That was all the comfort two children like us could offer. But Lee had other ideas. He was determined to free her. We slipped into the castle that day, knowing that we wanted with all of our hearts to save her. But we did not find her inside on that day, or the next, or any of our subsequent visits. Had she been moved? Had we simply imagined her? Lee and I knew there was only one way to be certain, and so we stand before the castle gates today, not as trespassing children, but in order to become Ansem the Wise's new apprentices. So, they wanted to become Ansem the Wise's apprentice to rescue the girl, most importantly, and basically any other people who were being experimented on. On the replica program and reanimation. Following my erasure and my recompletion as a human, I did not awaken right away. Perhaps the damage was exceptionally grave. Even after waking, I remained in bed, pondering my next course of action. In my work on the replica program for the organization, I produced some 20 vessels. Most of the early results were failures. Not one of them granted a number. The first success to emerge from that early lot was the Riku replica. Subsequently, Shion, number I, was essentially indistinguishable from a natural human, though she became unstable due to the influence of others. Using those two as my foundation, I worked to construct a number of 9 perfect replicas. But just as they near completion, my efforts were cut short. I suspect Xehanort aims to use both initial lot as well as the unused replicas from my latter work. I arose today and decided to walk out to the square, my first outing in some time. Yet my stroll was interrupted when a surprising visitor appeared with an unexpected offer. Though younger than me, he risen to become Xemna's right hand. I accepted his terms and became a nobody once more. Easier to gain access to the old replica program that way. Whoever it takes to atone. Vexen. Now, so something that was a bit confusing to me, wasn't, Riku replica, when was Riku replica made? Because Shion would have to be made before basically half the organization was gotten rid of in Chain of Memories. And I don't believe they encountered Riku until Chain of Memories. So when did Vexen make Riku? And because they never went to Castle Oblivion until, like, it would have to be more than a couple of days after Shion was joining the organization, because I believe Shion joined 7 days after Roxas, right? So, and the rest of the organization was still there. That's a bit confusing. If anyone can clear that up in the comments below, that'd be great. Alright, secret report number 8. The real organization. Xehanort seeks to gather 12 vessels, which, together with his true actual self, he considers the real organization 13. Now that he has the numbers he needs, Demyx and I are being treated as reserves. Several others who served Xemnas in the old organization have followed the same course as mine, electing to abandon their newly restored humanity and rejoin the real organization as nobodies. But not Xemnas. Xemnas cannot exist in the present because there is already a Xehanort here, the old man in charge. The old man's humanity prevents his heartless and nobody, other vanquished in the past, and his younger self from being denizens of this time. To circumvent this, Xehanort is using the prototype replicas I created in the past as containers, plugging his other selves' hearts from the time they existed. Xehanort ordered me to refine the prototypes, to make them closer still to the real thing, perfecting my creations so they may house true flesh and blood human seeds, my own purposes as well. All that remains for my atonement is to devise a way to pass on as many of the vessels as I can to those who truly deserve them. Vexen. Alright, so this confirms that Xemnas, Ansem, Young Xehanort are all replicas. They're not with the hearts of their own selves. Alright. You learn, a lot, because, like, I thought, they just, just bring them from the past, boom, they're here. But no, they are actually replicas. And like that's also true about, you know, Roxas, Naminé, the Riku that was in the battle. They're all replicas. So let's go on to secret report number 9. Ansem Code Conspectus, Excerpt 1. I poured over the data my master entrusted to Riku. Here I offer my preliminary conclusions. Within Sora's heart are 3 compartmentalized boxes, each containing the heart of another. One box holds Roxas, another holds a second heart that has been with Sora nearly as long. The third has held its heart for much longer. These hearts have melted with Sora's and no longer have voices of their own. Any attempts to mechanically extract them could prove as dire for Sora as what caused him to become a Heartless in the first place. First, a vessel for each heart must be ready. Then, a spark of some sort is required to induce its waking. Obviously, the ideal solution is to restore each heart to its own body, but whatever the case for the 2 unknown individuals, Roxas possesses no such thing. The same is true for Naminé, who we believe resides in Kairi's heart. Still, if alternate bodies can be secured for them, all their hearts require to be awakened is that spark, people they care for and who care for them, who can show them the way home. Complete and perfect digitalization of the heart is impossible. We can only hope to partially reconstruct it. Thus, I see no way forward but to extract the hearts we so desperately need directly from within Sora. Fortunately, the data stored in Twilight Town contains a near-perfect record of the memories of those who live there, and for Roxas and Naminé especially, this is crucial. Ienzo. Alright, so we know one of the heart is Roxas. The other one is Ventus. We know that. But I don't believe it has made clear of who the third one is. I've heard people say, oh, it has to be Shion's heart. I kinda doubt that, but who else could it be? It can't, like, it's, I was about to say, oh, it has to be Sora's heart, but no. It's 3 hearts within Sora's heart. So I have no idea who this third one might be. Because, well, they obviously say, oh, one's Roxas, and the one that has been with Sora's heart for much longer, that is Ventus. So, who is the one that's been with Sora as nearly as long? It could possibly be Naminé, you know, because, well, Naminé was made from Sora's body, but with Kairi's heart. I have no idea which one, but if you guys have any guesses, please leave in the comment section below. Secret report number 10. Ansem's Code Conspectus. Expert 2. As for how to contain their hearts, the only conceivable option is the replicas. If we transfer in the digital memories from the Twilight Town archive, the replicas should be able to reconstruct each individual's human appearance with near-perfect results. Then, their hearts need only the right spark to wake them, so they may find their way out of Sora and Kairi and into those newly made bodies. The replica program was truly revolutionary, but it was incomplete at the time of the old organization's dissolution. Even without Evan, how are we to further the research? We need at least 3 replicas, one for Roxas, one for Naminé, and one for the unknown story within Sora's heart. These are difficult quandaries, but as I work through my master's data, I find myself remembering the taste of ice cream. When I was a boy, he would bring me some when we took walks together. There will be time to regret my betrayal later. For now, my focus must be on restoring Roxas and Naminé and proving my master had good intentions. Ienzo. Yeah, so even here, we don't know who the third person is. People thought, when Sora and Xion, fell onto each other, that maybe her heart went from Sora's to the actual body. We have no idea. Because Roxas is from Sora, Naminé is from Kairi. I have no idea. Like, this is just a question for like myself. It's not really made clear. It's not made directly clear who this unknown heart is. Is it Rox? Is it Xion? Is it someone else? Those are like the options. But like, people has suspected, oh, like, Sora is the descendant of Gula, maybe. I'm not sure if that is even gonna correlate with this. Maybe. I have no idea. Nomura has explained himself. Maybe in the Ultimania, maybe they're gonna explain. What if they just say, oh, yep, this is just someone else. This is another heart that we have no idea who it is. Nomura knows it, but as public, no one else knows. Alright, secret report number 11. Observations, excerpt 1. I have seen it through. The Keyblade War unfolded exactly as written on the Lost page. Now the Keyblade the Master entrusted to me must be bequeathed to another. 5 Union leaders have been chosen from the surviving dandelions. I will pass the Keyblade to one of them, and then continue watching the future unfold. Yet, it seems that someone had pulled off the old switcheroo. One of the 5 is an imposter, someone the Master did not choose. They represent a virus in the program he so carefully wrote. The virus had begun a strange undertaking, a reckless plot to allow the 5 to escape into another world line. Surely such a thing can't be possible. We're talking about the same trick that allowed the Dandelions to transfer to other world lines after the Keyblade War. But these children are no masters. They haven't the means, unless, of course, our certain Lady of Magic summoned here from the future knows more than I do. The whole Union Leader thing was supposed to be by the books. Are these new events just another phase in the Master's grand plan? Unknown. So this is obviously Lushu. So, a certain Lady of Magic summoned here from the future knows more than I do. That is Maleficent, I believe. Because she did at one point came from the future into the time of Union Cross, and she tried to change the past so that she would win, but unfortunately she couldn't. And she talked to this person called Darkness. Could this Darkness might have been Lushu? Maybe. I don't know. So there's a virus in one of the 5 leaders. Now is he talking about the leaders that we know now, like Ventus, Lauriam, those 5, or could it be like another group of leaders after them? I'm gonna guess it has to be the current leaders that we know now. People speculate that it has to be Laurium, because, or someone else, because it was believed that Strelitzia is supposed to be the new leader, but also Strelitzia is Laurium's sister, so why would Laurium get rid of his sister? Would he want, to place as a foreteller, as a union leader? Maybe. Or it could be literally, well, actually, it could be either Ventus or it could be Brain. Unless, update tells us, and it says before, I've not checked out the latest update of the game, so, it's up in the air. Secret Report 12. Observation Excerpt 2. Even on a world line, with no Keyblade War, peace is but a dream. In the absence of us and our master, a darkness arrived, one that shall surely lead the world to yet another demise. Amid the chaos, I bequeath my Keyblade to one of the Union leaders, just as the master instructed. I watched as the 5 were sent to another war line, at no small cost, ensuring the line of Keyblade wielders will live on. And now, Keybladeless, I must depart this land to fulfill my final task. This means casting my own body aside and sojourning my heart in a vessel after vessel, as many as it takes. But I will continue gazing upon each passing era, one unto the next. In time, be it years or decades, centuries or millennia, I will meet the 5 once more. Somewhere in the cyclical history of bequeathings, a chosen one will appear and reenact the Keyblade War. When this scapegoat arrives and takes my Keyblade in hand, that will be the time to take the stage and finish my role. The Lost Masters will awaken. So each of the foretellers went to a different, well, all of them went to a different world line. So I was about to say, oh, if each of them went to a different world line, then something else, like different worlds, or like universes. But no, because Ventus and No Name are in the same timeline, so that is something to think about. I believe. Oh yeah, in absence of us and our master, a darkness arrived, one that shall surely lead the world to another demise. Now, is he talking about Maleficent, or is he talking about the darkness that is someone who's gonna start another Keyblade War? That is something that I gotta think about. But we from back cover, it was said that all Lucius's role was to watch, to have his gazing eye, and see what happens beyond the Keyblade War. Unless it was stated somewhere else that the Master also said he also has to watch as the next Keyblade War happens. I might have to rewatch back cover and Lucius scenes again. But it's amazing to find out that Xigbar was Lucius. But it was said that, in many games that, that he has his own plans, in Dream Drop, I believe, I have my own, in the recoded secret movie in the theater mode, the theater version, Xigbar said he has his own plans, but we had no idea what that was. This was it. He had to watch over the Keyblade. He had to he even mentions, like, he doesn't even, like, he tells, like, young Xehanort, like, do you even know what's going on inside your head, you know, and that Keyblade of yours? Just like he knew, like, all of this, just like, yep, that Keyblade, that's gonna mean something, you know. So he had this secret plan. It was watching Xehanort watch that Keyblade, watch the second Keyblade War happen. So now the final secret report. Observation Expert 3. It seems this body, this name, will be my last. The lives I've lived over the ages could fill volumes, but for now, I must focus on what matters most. The Keyblade has successfully passed down generation to generation, and it seems a Keyblade master devoted to darkness may finally arise. Until now, I have watched over the course of events from a distance. Perhaps the time has come to intervene. I need only play the role of a fool Desirius of the Keyblade's power. I will don the mask of his ally in order to keep watch over my Keyblade from close by. The gazing eye, the Keyblade forged from the eye of the Master of Masters. He passed it to me, as I have to others. And though he can see the future, all that will ever come to pass, spanning the ages in body after body, life after life, my task has been to keep vigil over the eye as it passes from hand to hand. It has been a long time, longer than I express. But now, at last, the Keyblade War has begun, and Kingdom Hearts will open. A true and a complete Kingdom Hearts, born of the clash between darkness and light. I will soon be reunited with my old companions, and in that moment, my long vigil will reach its end. He will return. Unknown. AKA Xigbar, aka Lushu. So, you know, I really gotta wonder who, like, how, like, well, what body has Lushu taken over to watch the Keyblade? He's taken over many bodies. Like, how far has Lushu been? How far away has he been? You know, watching the Keyblade. Could, you know, Lushu be possibly a student of the master who previously owned the Keyblade? Because it said that, you know, he's been through many bodies to keep an eye on the Keyblade until this Keyblade War happened. So it must have like been many years, hundreds of years. But, you know, the timeline between Kingdom Hearts 1, Union Cross, and basically up to Birth by Sleep is just about 100 years or so. So timelines are a really messy thing. Well, where would this take place? When would this take place? You know, like when did the actual Keyblade War start? Like, because if it says like it was taking place about 100 years before Birth by Sleep, he wouldn't have gone through bodies, you know. That is just something that like really like gets me thinking, like, how long has he been doing this, even though the Keyblade War was just 100 years before Birth by Sleep. And that's where, you know, Lushu, in the form of Braig, finally meets up with Xehanort, and that's where it all goes down. You know? But that is just something we have no idea about. Unless it's said somewhere else. You guys can tell me in the comment section below. But it's just, we have no idea, like, this whole thing. But for now, until we get, some kind of, clear information to clear everything up, this has been all the secret reports. All 13. If, Nomura decides to, release a bomb mix version that adds, more cutscenes, things explaining, what happened, maybe, or maybe they'll release, a side game that happens, what happened when Sora left the Keyblade Graveyard, and to what happened and how he came to save Kairi. Who knows? And then they're gonna have, Kingdom Hearts 4 to rescue Sora from whatever happened to him, at the end of, after rescuing Kairi. Who knows? But this is it. This has been the secret reports of Kingdom Hearts 3. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys have any theories about, what might be, what's been going on, about who the girl is, all that stuff, please tell me in the comment section down below. Love to hear your thoughts, comments, and opinions. And hopefully the next time we meet, we'll be back in Persona 4 Golden Plus. So, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, favorite, share with all your friends. Check out links in the description below with my social media links. And I will see you guys soon with my next video. Power out. Yeah.